Welcome to the show Emboldened with Jessica. And I'm Jessica.
And I'm Ariel.
And today we're going to be talking about long distance.
But not in how you think. We're talking about long distance relationships, but the relationships are friendships.
And also, I feel like we're in the season of moves, goodbyes, and hellos. And, little secret, I've recently moved. Now, there's speculation on if I moved cross country.
There's speculation.
Because my sister, being a sister, she had to go out and get a survey of people who say this is not a cross country move. I am moving from Illinois to Georgia. And I also want us to think about distance as it relates to having friends, having loved ones and family who can be in different stages of life. So this could be a friend who recently has become a parent, or it could be someone who is now married, or someone who has decided to be sober and we've known them as someone we used to go out and drink with. How do we support the friendship? How do we see if they're still supporting us? Because a lot of times it's like, ooh, they don't call me no more. Do I give them a pass because they're a new parent? Or how many passes I'm going to give them? I keep reaching out and showing up to things for them. They're not showing up to things for me. So how do we go about some of this communication when the proximity and the ease of that relationship may have changed? Some stats on moving that I think it's always helpful to have like a little bit of an anchor into like what's happening in general with people. So around 60% of long distance relationships transition to a proximity relationship, while 40% do not make it past the long distance phase. And studies show that about 40% of long distance relationships end within the first 3 months. So if you can get over the first 3 months, that's a good sign. And then another stat, which is interesting, is that a lot less people are moving, which I thought was really interesting than who moved maybe 50 years ago. A lot more people were moving. And I'm curious if that's because we can do so many things virtually and digitally now. I wonder if this means less people have to move for a job or have to move to feel close to people because there's other ways to connect. But on average, how often do you think the average American moves in their lifetime?
I'm still going to say 4.
Okay. So it's saying 11.7 times, which to me, that feels like a lot. I think that's like moving houses also.
I guess I'm now factoring in like how many times I moved as a child compared to as an adult. And we moved a lot, but as an adult, I really do like to get my roots in and settle in.
That makes sense. It's interesting. But yes, I definitely moved a lot as a child. Like every 2 years, I went to 4 different elementary schools, which is why I'm excited about moving because I feel like I'm very good at it. Like, I'm looking forward to meeting new people. And yeah, because I feel like I really haven't had to put any energy into meeting new people because I just naturally meet a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so now I'm going to actually have to put myself out there.
I also like, it seems so different in different stages of life. Moving as a kid, I'm not going to say I was good at it, but we did it. And it's just something that you just had to do. And I talk to friends now who have kids who are like teenagers and they don't want to even consider moving or they're in grammar school. Like, I don't want to disrupt their life. And I'm not going to say my parents didn't care, but
They were not thinking about that developmentally. They were not thinking about that. And there were way less ways to stay in touch. So like if your parent didn't mail off a letter for you or spend that money on that long distance call from the rotary phone, it wasn't a rotary, but it was a landline. I know, I'm being dramatic. Then there was no way to stay in touch. And now with little ones, there's so many ways for them to stay in touch if that's something you desire to do. But you're right. I don't think my parents thought about how that would impact us at all. That was not what they were thinking about.
And then I think about college and how people go off to college a lot of times and that they are starting brand new and they can put on different personas and just kind of make up who they want to be, but also how you brought up being good at moving and meeting people and all that. I feel like I was able to do that when I was younger, but now I'm like, I've just settled into my ways where I'm just like, the effort to making friends. Oh my gosh.
And yeah, you always got a new friend I find out about. You haven't meted them. They be finding you.
That's the sentence. They find me.
I believe
Otherwise,
that.
I will be in the corner
Mhm.
not talking to
Yeah,
anybody.
they definitely find you. But you're right. In different stages of life, there's a different level of ease. When we're in college and everyone is looking to meet new people, it's a lot easier to do that versus if you're someone who has kids and you move into a neighborhood where there's other families with kids and your kids are going to school together, or you're at a job where there's a lot of social activities and you're not one of me, the black kind of person who is not friends with people I work with. Okay. We work together.
Well, I've always just come up with like I have work friends, and if you get so lucky to transition to a real friend, I
Mm.
mean that's amazing, but it doesn't
That's very
happen
special.
often.
That's like a unicorn.
Yeah.
I do have a few of those, and that
Mhm.
first time when they're gonna be together with your other friends, you're testing
Yeah.
it out. Let's see
Mhm.
how this goes. And so a lot of times when people graduate from college, it's really different for them because they're in a different kind of environment. And so yeah, it looks different for different people and different seasons of their life. I know I'm going to need to be really intentional about it because one of the other things that I'm shifting is from working full time at a job and then also having my private practice to just working for myself.
Mhm.
And so being a therapist can be isolating in the sense that if you're in a private practice, it can be isolating that there's not other therapists that you're regularly interacting with
Mhm.
outside of you're interacting with your clients, but that's not a mutual kind of relationship. And while my clients are lots of fun, it is different. And so, yeah, I'm going to have to be intentional. Like, as I get invited to things, I'm actually going to have to show up and show out because otherwise, one thing about me, I know this so well. Like, if I'm traveling for work or I'm traveling for fun, I don't ever want to be bored. So I will make the effort to meet other people and I always meet fun people. But if I have a comfort person with me that's traveling with me or that's at the conference with me, I'm really not going to put that energy in. So I know I'm going to need to be very intentional because I'm so big into community and having a good time. So yeah, I know this is something I'm going to have to put energy into and I have the energy to put into it because I'm not going to be working two jobs.
This is true. And I don't know if you're transitioning to this yet, but this is a good transition to how you just said how you have to put energy into this as the person, as the friend who is staying and you're going. It's like an issue of like, oh man, I don't have that person right there on my side. So I'm going to have to make an effort.
Oh,
If I
yes.
don't want to be a hermit, to
You're not going to want
actually,
to be a
you have to
hermit.
put yourself out there and
Mhm.
go through all the motions of meeting people.
And I have to make the money so I can get the property. So you could be the visiting artist on the property that has your own spot. I'm so
Have my
serious
own
about it.
residence
Yes,
there.
absolutely. I won't even know if you're there or not. I'll see the lights on one day, lights won't be on the next day. You just come through the door, be like, what you making? Like, I mean, so yes, there's a big plan.
Yes, but also, I guess it's 2 sides of the same coin
Mm,
when it comes to this long distance friendships,
hmm.
because
There
you
is.
have to find your spot there, and I have to redefine my spot here. Like,
True.
"Oh, yay."
This is true.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm excited for both of us, and there is a little bit of grief involved.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, emotions. So I just talked about how there's a little bit of grief that is involved, and sometimes people will not really allow themselves to be with the grief, and so they might pull away. They might start an argument so that now we're not friends anymore, and I decided this on my terms because they don't want to say goodbye, or they may just, feel like the relationship is definitely going to end, and so they start to operate in a way like the relationship has already ended and they're not putting in the same level of effort. And all of these can really be limiting beliefs. If we don't want to push that friend away just because they're going to be physically distant or because they're entering a new season of life and things are shifting, then we want to invite some healthier ways to navigate this change that's happening. And so there are a number of suggestions and I'm laughing because Letterboxd was one that was suggested and I said, "Oh, this is trash. I'm deleting this." And Ariel's like, no, that's very popular. I did not know about it. So for those that don't know about it, it's a place where you can review and share thoughts about movies that you're both watching.
And think about it,
Mm.
Jessica, like, people when they're making conversation, they're always asked like, "What was the last thing you watched? Have you been to the movies?" And It's already like, if you can go on Letterboxd and have your reviews, it's already there for your friend to look at.
Oh, yeah, that's
Like,
true. Because I
"Oh,
do like things certain people like.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
do."
I see because to me now it's reminding me of Goodreads or Fable,
Mhm.
where I I can't keep track of all the books I'm reading, but when it's there, then it's saved and I can go back and say, "Did I read this?" Or if someone asks me something, then I have it, and then I can see what my friends are reading that have tastes similar to mine and be like, "Ooh, I wanna try this book." So
Also,
okay.
Storygraph, you mentioned Goodreads and
Storygraph.
Fable and
That's right.
Storygraph.
That is the other one. Yes. Okay, thank you for reminding me. Yeah. There's also these teleparties that you can do. So where you're watching Netflix or Disney Plus or Hulu or some kind of show or movie in sync. So you have a plan to set it up. And this could be like where we order in food and we make sure our popcorn is ready and maybe we're texting while we're watching the movie. But yeah, another way for us to be connected while apart.
Do watch parties still happen? Reminds me of the pandemic, but
I know.
do watch parties, are they still a thing?
Sometimes I feel like I do these I don't do the official watch parties, but, like, me and my siblings or maybe there's something we really wanna watch. You can also do long distance game nights. So whether you're using Jackbox, Scribble, Among Us, or you know what? What are those other gaming things? My nephew does this with his long distance friend. They'll do Minecraft together and then they'll
Mm.
do the Switch. You can do Switch games together or whatever.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know these gaming things. But
for
I know lots of people who game together.
very young people
Okay,
or
they
people who play games
yes,
who don't
right?
do that.
Yeah, I
Who
don't do
don't do
that,
that.
but yes.
They need to make a digital taboo.
Ooh,
So
that is a
much yelling.
great idea. Can you imagine?
Gosh, so much yelling.
Ooh, I do like that. Yes, I do. So you can also do a playlist that you're sharing. I love it when people, I have a friend that does a playlist based off of California with California artists, and it's so good. But yeah, we could do these different kind of theme playlists that we're sharing.
Yeah, and I feel like you can have a blended playlist
Oh,
just based on what you're listening
right.
to, and all your friends' music is there too, or you can, like, have a just a
Yes.
collaborative playlist
I
as
do like
well.
those. Yes. The other thing is with schedules, because especially when you're on a different time zone, it's really confusing to remember what time zone someone's on, or we make a plan and I'm saying 12 o'clock, but for you, that's 10 o'clock. So you could sync a calendar. You could plan virtual dates or life events or even kind of just chill time. I was sharing with Ariel that we have a mutual friend from college that there would be times where they live in a different country and we would just be on the phone from like 9 a.m. on a Saturday to like 7 p.m. And like I would just be cooking, going by life. We would talk every once in a while. Sometimes we weren't talking, like, you just be chilling. It could be a video check-ins, so like a standing date. Also, you could consider a virtual book club or a series binge.
Mm.
In terms of physical touch points, you could do something like a love box that spins when you send someone a message. You can open it and see their note. You could do old school letters and cards and postcards and cute things. Also, care packages are really sweet. I had a friend send me a care package for my birthday, and it had all of these really beautiful things. I think I just cried. Looked at the box and just cried. It was magical. Also another idea would be, and this is really in right now for especially folks that are dating folks, is like sending Uber Eats or a DoorDash meal, like if it's been a rough day or it's like your virtual date and you want them to have the same meal that you're having or you want them to have their favorite meal. And then if you want an emotional or somatic connection, maybe with a friend or loved one, or boo thing, a joint meditation session. So you could use Insight Timer or the Calm app or another app that you enjoy, like Liberate, where you're starting the sessions together. You could also engage in some like just body check ins where we're sending a voice note to someone and just saying, hey, I care about you, just checking in. How's your body today? Do you feel any tension, any softness as you reach them 40s? A little bit more of that tension sometimes, but just a way for us to check in and be mindful with our friends.
Can you talk more about when friends are in different places in their lives. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like navigating that can sometimes be surprising, a little more difficult than the long distance because
Mhm.
all you really have is the distance to deal with. But, like, if you're a friend who is still single, wild, and free, and your friend just got married, got a
Mhm.
kid too,
Mm.
and got a mortgage,
Mhm.
like, how can they still be friends?
Yes. Oh man, those conversations, me and my sister have been joking about this a lot, but those conversations with people who have kids where it's like every other word they're yelling at their kid to like stop doing something, or it's like you're just waiting. It just is different and it requires being really intentional. And so maybe you schedule up calls or check-ins when they put their kids down for bed and if that is a good time for them, or maybe when their kids are in daycare or during nap time. Um, and also, I feel like sometimes we'll make assumptions. So we'll make the assumption that now that they're married or now that they have a kid, they're not going to want to hang out with you anymore. They're not going to have time for you. And so again, people will decide to pull away. And so just noticing that impulse that maybe you're feeling sad, maybe you're feeling nervous about the relationship, maybe you're feeling abandoned in some ways.
Mhm.
So honoring what is there, like how you're feeling, finding really soft ways to communicate how you're feeling with the friend. So not like you've been a terrible friend or you got married and you don't have time for me anymore. But I've been noticing we don't hang out the way we used to. I've been feeling like I'm not a priority to you anymore. Those kind of conversations. And if the person's like, "Yeah, you're not a priority to me anymore. I was hanging out with you to find my husband, and now that I have him, I don't care." Then you know how to move, right?
Well, I mean, I think of if it's that situation, I feel like sometimes it's that friend who's like, "Yeah, you're not a priority anymore because I have a newborn."
Mhm.
And it's just like, "Okay, cool.
Mhm.
I completely understand." And so it's just like, how do we move forward?
Yes.
And are we going to move forward as friends, or have we just downgraded to acquaintances and
Mhm.
associates? Or do I just check in with you when the kid is 5?
Yeah, if I have time for it when
Yeah.
the kid is 5, because I might be doing other things,
This is
like
true.
living in Asia, who
Who
knows? Okay.
knows?
So yeah, I think this is just about having these conversations, not putting things off, not taking it to chat, to sort it out, right? Because at the end of the day, you just wanna be in communication with your friend, and if they're not calling you back, then there's your answer. I also kind of just want to hold a little bit of space for ways we might celebrate if someone is, or not celebrate, but like show up for someone who's moving. Ariel sent me this really cool TikTok of someone who was hosting a closing night party. Now, I thought I was going to have a trader's party because I have been wanting to have a trader's party. I am going to have one at some
But to
point.
say you still can have one.
Oh, I definitely going to have one at some point.
It'll be like
I want to
like
be
on the show where
Alan.
they all have to arrive in Scotland.
Yep.
We have to arrive at your place cross
Hello?
country.
Yes, and I'm gonna be dressed all fabulously like Alan. Okay, my friend Amber was like, "Ooh, what are you gonna wear?" I said, "Ooh." Took it to a whole 'nother level. So, we're definitely gonna do that, but I have a ton of things I have to get rid of, and, we all know with the devil, Facebook Marketplace is, okay? We don't know who's coming
It's
to get us
it's a
when.
lot of work though
It
too,
is
just selling.
back and forth. It's too much.
Mhm.
And a couple of years ago, I did a garage sale with my sister. Oh my gosh, that was so much work and so little
Mhm.
payoff. I said, I'm not doing another one of these for a very, very long time, if ever. Okay. So I've been donating a lot of things, but for some things that are really sentimental, like some of these beautiful plants that I have and I adore, or some pieces that my friends have just loved over the years, this idea of having a closing night party where your friends come in, they shop your items that you need to get rid of, you have this moment to sit together, to laugh, enjoy each other's company. But you know your things are going to a good home. There's something about that that like the things I'm parting with, I still want them to go to a good home. It's just a really cool way to create some memories with your loved ones. The other thing that the creator of this TikTok shared was that this could be something that you do once a year. And then she ended it with a toast and a reflection of the year and things they want to manifest going forward. And I just thought that was so powerful. This idea of being in community with your loved ones, you all kind of reflecting together and thinking about what you want for yourself going forward and for other people to help you manifest the things that you're speaking that you want. Other ways that folks are navigating me moving has been I've had a few offers of some people who don't even live in the state who have offered to fly in and help me pack up my house, and help me move. One of them is a single parent. I was like, how on earth? You know what I mean? Like, that's so kind of you. Like, I
Very
appreciate that.
selfless.
Yeah, damn, that's the level of friendship we have that you're willing to do something like that for me. Now, I'm gonna have them come when I'm nice and settled in, so we can have a nice good time. Okay, if you're gonna be away from your child for a bit, I gotta show you a good time. And so to me, those things are meaningful, whether they're packing parties where you're on the phone or you have someone over, and I don't necessarily need them to pack, just keep me company. Other offerings of support or just people saying, while we're sad you're going to be leaving, you know, just reflecting on some of the memories that we have together, making sure we get together before I move, seeing if there's anything that I need as support. So I have just felt really, really loved and supported and held. And I'm a strong believer because I moved so much growing up that like the relationships you want to keep, you can keep them going.
Mhm.
Distance is not going to stop anything for me. And so I think it is also an opportunity to see what are the relationships that stand that test of time, who are willing to put in the work. I'm pretty sure I know who those people are just from some of the things that they've shown me over the years. And yeah, this is the place I've lived the longest in my life.
Oh, wow, impressive.
I know, that's a long time.
It's
That's
impressive.
wild.
I think in the end, you have to treat the friendships as you would treat a romantic relationship. They both require work. I think some people just think it's just gonna magically happen. A friend is a friend, and that's how it is. You gotta put effort into keeping friendships going.
That's
Do.
so true. I saw this quote and I really loved it. They were talking about how everybody wants a village, but nobody wants to be a villager. And I do run into that where people are like, how do I build friendships? So we are joining you as part two of the long distance episode.
We need an update. If you could like just update people, how are you settling in?
I'm quite enjoying myself, I must say. It feels like I'm on vacation because I'm not working nearly as much as I used to. I wake up at like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. This is so terrible. And I stay up till midnight.
I don't think 9 or 10 o'clock is terrible.
I just feel so much freer. It's really, really nice. I'm enjoying it. And it's weird because like whenever I want to go somewhere or I want to like go for a walk on a trail or something, like I have to Google where everything is at. So that's different, not just being able to get in the car and go, but there's so many things. I mean, there's just so many options when I do want to get in the car and go somewhere. So yeah, I feel like I'm on vacation. Like it feels a little surreal in some ways.
To play off of that vacation feeling and how you mentioned you have one less job. So where's that energy, that free time energy going?
That's a good question, actually. I just feel like it's not really going towards anything. I feel part of it is my body is resetting, like what's normal and what it's I used to. Being able to just like make a meal whenever I want to. Like before, the way that I was working, to schedule sessions during lunch is like super common because that's when like a lot of students are free. And so I would just like eat popcorn or chips during someone's session, and then I would come home, probably make something really quickly, and then go back into sessions. And so I just feel like it's going into living. Like in the middle of the day, if there's something I want to go do, I just go and do it. It's just wild. Or like if I want to go for a walk or go to a Pilates class, like I just feel like I've been able to just slow down and not feel this rush. Like, I still have like things to do. Like, I still have work outside of sessions, like, things for the business and doing notes and treatment planning and researching and trainings and things like that. But it just feels so different that, like, on any day, something unexpected can happen. One day last week, I needed to get some new walking shoes. This is my age. In the move, I forgot. I foolishly packed up all my tennis shoes. So all I had were like these sandal flip-flop things, which was terrible idea for the move. And so anyway, so I needed nicer shoes. So I go to this shoe place. My brother meets me there with his family, and it was like so fun. Like I got to hang out with them in the middle of the day, got cuddles from my niece and my nephews. Then we went to Costco. Those who know me know I love a grocery store. Okay, so I was in Costco acting up. It just was like, wow, this is the middle of the day. And then afterwards, they're like, do you want to go for a walk on the trail? And I was like, I do. But my brother was like, but you probably need to work. I was like, yeah, I probably need to work. It's just this, it's so different, being on my own schedule, doing what I want to do. I don't know where the energy's going. I guess I feel like it's replenishing. Like, I don't know that it's being poured into anything in particular, but I feel like it's like a reservoir that was empty and slowly it's been like bubbling back up to the way that it should be.
That is good, and I feel like a lot of people either aren't allowed to give themselves that time to replenish, or they just don't have the time to replenish, so things are, like, getting closer and closer to empty all the time.
Mhm. I definitely think that. Like, I mean, I just feel like when I look at the way I looked when I first got here, like, I just look I was on my last breath, right? Like I just raccoon eyes. I just felt tired. And I don't feel that sense of exhaustion anymore, which is nice.
I remember when you were in the process of moving, there was lots of talk of you letting go of just some things you didn't need to take with you, which I think is great, but also a lot of decor things. How are you making your new place a home?
I highly recommend this for people who are moving. So I'm all over the place. Okay. I probably need to get a psychological assessment done because while I know I'm neurospicy, I'm just curious about some other things. But whenever I want to buy something, I would show it to my sister who is my, lifestyle coach, let's be honest. She's really been getting my life together. Even my style, girl. Okay, so look at me going off on a tangent. But in the house, she kept being like, "Does it match? Does it go? Does it go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course it goes. Like, this is a cute piece. I like it." So she had me create a mood board. And so I used Pinterest and anything that I purchase, I put it in the mood board to see if it flows. And there were lots of things I was picking that do not flow, or they were going to go in one room and in that room it wasn't going to flow. And so that was has been incredibly helpful. So whenever I buy something or I'm looking at something, I look at it in relationship to the other pieces I have. And so like for pieces that aren't new, I just took a picture of them and put them in the board. Highly recommend that. I feel like my style, it's so funny. I really like bright, colorful things, and I'm really big into texture, which is a sensory thing, girl. I need an assessment. I feel like I've gotten a lot more neutrals in the house, and I've never been that girly that likes, like those Kardashian boring white, everything's white. I've never been that person.
Mhm.
And I have so many white cream pieces now. But what I like about some of the neutrals, the bigger neutral pieces, is that it allows me to bring in things that are really colorful, whether that's artwork or like accent pillows or plants or other pieces that are really colorful and they still go in the space in a way where it's flowing together nicely. So, so yeah, you're gonna have to come check it out.
Of course.
The other thing that I'm noticing style wise is in terms of the way I present. Before I had this very, I feel like I was looking like Mrs. Frizzle on the Magic School Bus. with, like, the really big jewelry, like, little kids love that stuff, and especially when I used to work with little kids, oh, man, and I used to work with little kids that were in foster care, so they had a lot of trauma, so, like, big, colorful jewelry, they just loved it, and it would be, like, a talking piece or a piece to help them to kinda relax and regulate,
Mhm.
and so I kept liking the really big jewelry, but I was really feeling like, Mariah Carey and Precious when she was a social worker, looking a little little bit.
Drab, speaking of beige and gray. Yeah.
Hello, right, right. And so it's so funny because like, now I'm more into, like, this very muted, kind of, like, cute little accent gold pieces or little silver pieces, but they're not so big and so huge because it makes me feel like I'm putting on my, like, educator costume. And
Mhm.
I just that the style it's not singing to me, and, I just don't feel the need to do that because 'cause I'm not that person anymore. So it's so funny because I have all of these really big jewelry pieces, and I'm like, "What am I supposed to do with them?" My sister was like, "Donate them?" I was like, "Oh, dang, don't you think I'm gonna circle back and want them at some point?" She's like, "No, donate them." And even like my workout clothes, like, or my lounge clothes, like, I had so many dresses, like, I have a whole walk-in closet filled with dresses, which
Well, that's
is
exciting.
no, it's not because I don't need to wear those big dresses all the time. I just don't need to wear dresses like that all the time. Like, now I can just chill in cozy lounge clothes for the most part. And even like, because there are so many beautiful trails, I like going outside and going for walks. And so, like, this need to wear more like clothes to be active in. And I really don't have that stuff. So it's just so interesting seeing the way the style is changing for this new more leisure life. Okay, I need my athlete shirt. Like, it just feels so nice and not restrictive. It's just I'm telling you what, it feels like I've entered into, like, a new planet or something.
And it's always where you're supposed to have been. And I feel like a lot with a lot of people, like either switching jobs, dialing back jobs, retiring, or even getting laid off, they are just encountering a new way to live. And for some, they encounter it really well, and for others, I've seen like they're just lost. I know I was very lost. Like, I'm supposed to be productive right now, right? Like, I'm not tired right now, but I should be tired because was working so much. So it's just
Yeah,
like
you were.
almost like getting to know yourself again.
Mhm. And outside of what it is that you do, right? Well, and I think for you and I, there have been so many years where we have worked multiple jobs.
Mhm.
So it's not like we're just coming out of maybe a 2-year or 5-year period. It's like for decades, we were doing overworking a lot.
Yes.
And so it's a big transition. And so my invitation to listeners is just that, if there's something you've really been wanting to do, if there's a move you've been wanting to make, or a new field you want to enter, or a new lifestyle you want to adopt, that it's really not too late to do that. Like, I think with everything that's happening in the world around us constantly being on fire, it
Mhm.
just really reminds me that the time to do what I want to do, the time to live the way I want to live is now. And why put it off?
How is staying in contact with your friends been?
Ugh, I feel like I've not been hitting that right. So like my friends have been really, really good about reaching out and checking in about the move and how I'm getting settled in. And so that's been really nice.
Mhm.
Um, But there's a few friends that I know probably are giving me a little bit of space, that I need to reach out to, and I have not done that. It's been on my mind to do it, and then I get distracted and I start doing something else. So that's something that is really, really important to me. A, I love my friends, and B, I don't want my friends to think that out of sight, out of mind. And while I know some people are like that and they can't necessarily help that, like for some people, it's an object permanence piece or a neurospicy piece for me, that's not the case. I am thinking about them. That's something I need to be better about for sure.
And it goes both ways. Like they have to put in some type of work as well.
Yeah, I'm not it's not feeling to me like that I'm not receiving that from folks. Like, I've just certainly had them like check in. but it's on me to also reach out and just
Mhm.
to check in with what's going on with them, like what's happened. Like earlier this week, I was messaging someone, like a friend, and they had like this huge life update that I didn't even know about. And I'm like, man, I gotta I gotta be on top of this because I'm not around to find out things in the way that I used to.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I just need to be pretty intentional about that. And certainly intentional about meeting new people. People in Georgia are so interesting, I think, though.
That was gonna be
They're
my next
just
question actually, like, for the other side, how are you putting yourself out there to meet new people and make new friends?
oh, we okay. So I decided to do Pilates reformer. And when I say I decided to, my sister-in-law thought it would be a good idea for me to go with her. Because I was just joking about what a difficult workout that is and how it looks like a torture device, you know? It does.
It can, but if you gotta have the right instructor, if you ask me.
Yeah. So yeah, I checked that out and it was a cute little spot. And some of those movements, I said, I'm not used to my body moving like that. If my legs gonna be in the air, usually I got a little more support from somebody, you know. I
Oh,
just said, this
wow.
is different. Girl, it was different. I said, what?
On the next
So yeah.
episode. Anyway.
Ooh-wee. So yes, I said, this is exactly where I probably need to be more regularly. So that's been fun. And there are a couple of people that I know that are out in this area, and so at first I was like, just like, "Oh, wait until I get kinda situated and I'll reach out." So I've been making those plans, so that's super fun. So along with Pilates, I probably need to join like a couple of more things, especially since I'm gonna be working or I work for myself.
Mhm.
So it's not like I'm in an environment where I'm gonna be around a bunch of different people all the time. Some of the people who've been meeting me, I don't wanna meet, okay? I feel like there's something about our personalities, Ariel. Like normally when we go places, people are drawn to us. And so
Yeah.
they'll chat us up and want to get to know us and things like that. So of course that is still happening. So yeah, so that's been interesting. Okay, I have not been seeing the fine men that I saw when I was coming for visits. So I definitely need to get out of the house a little bit more. Because I was seeing some Glorilla looking men, you know what she described. All in due time. Getting to know other people, putting myself out there, been doing a little bit of that. I need to probably do a little bit more. The other thing is working for yourself. It's really hard to turn that off. During the day, I like to do my different side quests. Okay, and I have a lot of fun. But then other days, it's like, ooh, okay, I really need to work on this, or I need to pull these resources. And then you kind of find the day getting away from you a little bit. But
Mhm.
for the most part, I've been working like 4 days a week, and I really have been honoring the Fridays off. But it's been like a nice time to catch up on some things if I need to. Yeah, I do need to have the balance where I turn off work and I'm outdoors. One of the things I wanted to touch on is if you're thinking about a large move, I really encourage folks to start planning early, especially if you have a professional license. I've known people who are maybe educators or maybe they have a professional therapy license or massage therapy license. And we all know how bureaucracy works, that it's slow. And
Mhm.
so,
Yep.
highly recommend starting that process months early. I think for me, it was like about a 5 month process. They wanted about 20 different documents from 20 different people that I have not been in contact with in about 20 years. Okay.
Mm.
And so, even aside for finding all that paperwork, it just took time for all of it to be processed. So, really recommending that if you're wanting to do a move, allowing yourself lots of time and space to allow that to happen. And then the other thing is not to accept rejection. There's so many things that happened during the move, during the process where people are like, no, we can't do that, or that's not possible. And I was like, okay, you can do that. And I talked to more people and we figured out a way to make what I needed to happen. I also a big proponent of confirming and double checking. So if movers are supposed to come on a day, double check in advance, double checking all kinds of things to make sure things are going as smoothly as they need to go. But with any move or anything that's new, a transition, there's always things that are going to come up. So allowing yourself just to be patient with yourself, patient with the people that you're working with, so that you're not getting overly activated and causing more stress for a situation that's already stressful enough. So I was really fortunate. I think when you're operating in alignment, a lot of things just kind of happen together. They move together, they click together. And so a lot of things clicked together really nicely and easily for me that made things way less stressful than it needed to be. And then there were also people who were acting up who didn't have any act right. Okay. And I had to gather myself, okay, and go above them. I had to take care of business and business got taken care of. I was really, really fortunate. Yes, I think just being patient, making sure you have snacks. One of the things that was so sweet, so many people, when they were doing their goodbyes with me, they were giving me snacks for the drive, and things to help me stay awake and gift cards, and I just received a lot of support on that side of things, and then on, once I was in Georgia. But, for the little and the small things, it's been really nice to have the support of my family. It has been tremendous. So, I don't know, this is so far, it's been a good move. Thank you for listening and being a part of the Emboldened with Jessica community. Know someone who'd love this episode? Share it with them. It's one of the best ways to help us grow. If you haven't already, take a moment to rate and review Emboldened with Jessica on your favorite podcast platform. Your reviews help others discover the show and feel at home here. Have questions or ideas for future episodes? We'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube at Emboldened with Jessica. Until next time.